Hello, I'm Aaron and welcome back to the Laststandgamers channel. Now, have you ever taken any time to think about the Space Engineer's assault rifle and actually had a close look at it? Now, if you're a fan of firearms like myself, then it does intrigue you. Just exactly how does this thing work? What are all the features on it? It's got so many dials, so many buttons and switches, so I thought we'd do a little bit of a breakdown to it today and kind of have a look at what features the Space Engineer's assault rifle offers or how it could function. And if you guys think differently, it'd be quite cool to maybe comment about them in the comment section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my entity list here. We've got a few assault rifles on the table, but we have the main one here in black. So as we rotate around, we'll turn our light on and we can have a look at some of its features. Now, I think it's a little bit better to probably have a look at the green version so it'll contrast a little bit more. So in fact, we're going to have a look at the Elite Assault Rifle. Now, the Elite one doesn't have too much difference apart from it does have a holographic sight on top of it. So let's start at the rear, at the butt area, and see exactly what's going on. So at the butt area, it looks like we've got some sort of sling swivel. We've got a round sort of hole where we could mount our sling to. On the other side, it looks like we've got the same. Further forward, we have some sort of either folding button or maybe an extendable type stock. And you can see the SE automatic rifle is listed there. It's also got this blue sort of play looking button located on the side. I don't know if this is some sort of stamp of approval for whoever manufactures these Space Engineers assault rifles, but there's also another either rivet or sling loop there. Now, if we rotate this on its side, if I can, you can see on top here we have some sort of catch. Now, I wasn't too sure if this was going to be some sort of cocking handle. If we look a little bit closer, you can see it looks like something that maybe you'd lift up with your thumb. I'm not too sure what this detail actually is. It's got a red marking with a circle on top. I mean, if the modeler would like to chat about this and talk about the concept, it'd be amazing to probably hear a breakdown of the rifle itself. So coming forward, we've got these little pins. You can see them in silver just further forward above the selector or wheel on this side. Now, this brings another question. You'll see this selector over on this side here above the pistol grip, but if we rotate it to the other side, there is an activate button over on this side. So is this selector selecting safe, activate, or is this some sort of wind-up cocking mechanism? I'm not too sure. There's a lot of buttons and dials on this, so I can only guess it uses some sort of electronic technology. Now, if we go a little bit further forward, you'll see that larger wheel with the green light, so that gives me the idea of maybe is it a burst fire selector? Does it change how it fires? Does it do something? There's no indications, no markings. We've got like a faded indicator behind the circle, but there is 3 dots on that circle. Now, coming a little bit further down, we also have the magazine here. Now, if we actually have a look at the magazine, you can see it's gripped, it's textured, it is quite chunky, and it's got some sort of cutout in the rear section. The bottom of the magazine, well, looks pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's got that play sort of logo, but this time in grey on that area. Now, here's a question for you. How do you think you release this magazine? I was having a look around this thing and I was trying to work out, is there a button? Are these just pins and rivets that hold the thing together? Or maybe it can be released when you turn one of these multiple levers. What does this activate button mean as well? It says active now, so I'm guessing this is the safety. So you push that forward, it activates, and then you pull it back and maybe it's safe. It says warning, check before usage, so I'm guessing it is some sort of safety. You can see also the Elite Assault Rifle marking up on the top there. On the little warning sign behind it, you can see there's an initial position. So that's interesting there as well. So how would you cock this thing? How would you load it? And what sort of ammunition does it use? Well, we'll put that away for the moment and we'll head down to the table. So here in front of the table, we actually have a magazine. So this magazine model hasn't been updated yet. This is still using the old model, and the old model looked like a G36. So it's not using anything special in terms of bullets. You can see the bullets are actually loaded up at the top here. Standard sort of brass cartridge, I'm guessing, on the top, so it's not using caseless ammunition. So let's go back to picking up the assault rifle over here. So over on the other side, you can see a warning, keep clear sticker. Now above that, I'm guessing there is an ejector. There is something that's going to be sending out the shells out the side like we see when we fire this rifle. So we probably need to have a little look at the front of the weapon. So let's just copy and paste it and try not to bring the table into the question here. And let's have a look at the front of the rifle here itself. So we've got this oversized handguard with some divots at the front for grip. Quite cool indeed. We've got a little bit of a warning type marker on this one. I don't think that one's actually located on the other one. Yes, it is. It is as well. So there isn't too much different in that department. And then as we come around the front, we actually have the barrel there itself. That looks like a circular barrel with some sort of square housing or end cap on it. It's very chunky. It'd be very large in your hands, but I guess if you've got big gloves on and all this stuff, it might be better. There is things to grip onto. And at the top, you can see that this Elite version has the front iron sight actually folded away. Looking down the back, it looks like a standard sort of Picatinny rail, and we have a holographic sight, so this doesn't look like anything really too different than what we're used to seeing. It's got a caution laser radiation sticker on the side. It's got a little knob maybe for adjustment, and then it's got the holographic sight there without a central dot. That's quite interesting. So that's a little bit of a look at this assault rifle. How exactly it functions is still a mystery to me. If we have a look back at the trigger grip area, you'll notice we've got this pistol grip with this very sharp looking angles to it. It must be rather uncomfortable. It's definitely not very ergonomic to grab onto. In the pistol housing, we've got a full trigger that takes up the rear segment. So it's quite interesting. There's a lot going on here, and the thing that really gets my attention is the three knobs. So we've got the knob on that side, we've got the safety, we've got the larger knob at the front with the green light. I'm just not too sure exactly what that does. Who knows? This thing is a really unique looking weapon, but at the same time, when you're firing it and blasting it away, you don't really think about how it's functioned. The engineer in the current version of the game doesn't actually cock the rifle, he doesn't pull anything back, he doesn't actually reload the rifle, so we don't get to see any of them animations, something I'd really love to see in the future. So moving on, let's give it a little bit of a shooting test. Now, we know there's no reload animation, but this is the animation that we currently have. So you can see we've got shells coming out the side, we've got a basic muzzle flash, and we have a recoil that shakes back. Now, you can see the character isn't actually shouldering this, and the short stock probably really does help with how it fits with his gear. He's not really got too much of a shooting stance either, isn't really sitting into it. He's pretty much what I'd say like spraying it from the hip level. If we aim it, so I'm holding right click now, you'll see it starts to shake in my hands. If I go to the character perspective, you'll see it goes into first person. And the view from first person isn't too bad. There isn't too much weapon sway, but Space Engineers was never really designed to be a first-person shooter. But something I definitely would like is to see more of a variety of assault rifles and different weapons in hand. Maybe pistols, maybe a shotgun, maybe even a sniper rifle. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comment section below. So to bring this video to a conclusion, I wanted to really just get you thinking about the assault rifle. It's something that we carry in our hands all the time in Space Engineers, but we really don't see it function. What do all these selectors do? What do you think they do? How do you think this thing operates? How do you fire it? Is it using some sort of battery operated cocking system? Is it a wind-up handle that cocks it back to fire it in the beginning? I'm really not too sure. It seems to fire quite conventional ammunition that is interesting to me. And just how do you eject the magazine? And also, that pistol grip, God, it looks damn uncomfortable. It seems to have a screw in the side of it there, so maybe you could detach that pistol grip and add different accessories onto it. But a very cool little look at an assault rifle that we really quite take for granted in Space Engineers. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully we see some exciting and interesting discussions about it in the comment section below. Let us know what you think, and I will see you next time.